I ironed this really well. It was wrinkly like this, but water and iron and a starch, and also I stretched it. I made sure it was nice and stretched out so that as it's long arming, it's as flat as it can, because I don't want to be managing this quilt. This quilt has a lot of bias on it, so the way I ironed is I ironed towards the direction of the piecing. And like here, this was really full and now it's nice and flat, so I ironed down towards the piecing and it took the fullness away. I promise you, starching is your best friend when you're doing this. So I tend to starch like the row. So it's quilting here. I'm going to starch this right now, so while it's long arming, it's going to dry. My favorite starches is Best Press. I have like 5 of these different bottles. One is just with water, one is half Best Press, half water, and one is all Best Press. I want to have pure starch in this one because of how it's warping and how it's doing what it's doing. As it's long arming, I'm drenching the quilt with Best Press or starch, whatever you use. Sometimes if it just needs a little bit of ironing, I'll just put water. The reason I am starching the quilt down here is because I don't want to be long arming. Sorry, I'm letting Gary do his job. I don't want to be long arming on a wet quilt. Like right here, you can see it's just a little bit damp where it's still a little bit wet where I starched it. So I want to make sure that by the time I roll this long arm up, she's already kind of drying out, and the starch is seeping into the fiber of the fabric, because I have the ability to iron it and stretch it and clean it up. And so here I have already done that, but I had to iron a couple times to dry out the water. I don't want my long arm to be quilting on a quilt that's wet.